Hi, so here are some tips for getting your fourth fingers in the right places for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There are a couple of things. One is that your fourth finger is probably the weakest finger on your hand, and you need to warm it up really well. And I'll just show you a few things to think about for warming up your fourth finger. So if you have your fourth finger, you do make your hand position where you normally play on, say, a D major scale. Along what you want to see is a nice line with your knuckles. So if I was to draw with my lovely red pen a line, my knuckles are in a nice straight line here, kind of parallel to the fingerboard. So they look really lined up. The knuckles are lined up. And I have actually drawn here, so much drawing, a smiley face here on my hand. So that smiley face should be looking at me so that my hand has got the right shape. And it needs to be nice and relaxed. And your thumb this side is really gentle. So no clinging on. One thing you might want to just try is putting your three fingers down on the D string, and then just practice popping your fourth finger down as a sort of warm-up exercise to get the joints here nicely loosened up. If it gets sore, then just stop, and achy, then just stop and just relax it out, and then try that again. Now, the hand position for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, it's in G major. You have a gap between the third finger and the fourth finger. And the way you can check that it's in tune, of course, is against the A string, open A string. So you can pluck your fourth finger, making sure it's in tune against the A string. And I can do that when I'm got my hand up here. So I know it's really nicely in tune. You're not going to have it right next to your third finger. It's going to have a little gap because it's a tone away, so that it needs a little space. Great. The other thing to strengthen your fourth finger, which would be really helpful, is just try some left-hand pizzicato. Now, at the end of this piece, you've got left-hand pizzicato, and I was saying last time, sometimes it's easier doing it with the third finger, but actually it's really good practice to do it with your fourth finger. I find it quite hard not to hit all the strings, but you can practice your fourth finger to get nice and strong by practicing your left hand pizzicato. That would also help. Let me look at a little bit. Let's look at bar 8 in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So I'm going to work my fingers up so I know I'm on the G to start with. If I want to check my G's in tune, I can play it against my open string. Alright, so I'm going to go from bar 8. So this is where, just after the beginning of the tune. Now it should be very easy to feel that fourth finger, even if you've got small hands. Now if your thumb is sticking up, that's going to be really hard because you won't be able to reach. Can you see how stretched my fourth finger is? So make sure that thumb is nicely down. And also when you're catching your fourth fingers, don't forget this elbow is flexible. So it's your flexible friend. So if you're having difficulty reaching, just make sure that this elbow is nicely under your violin, especially on the D string. It's quite a stretch. On the G string, it's even more of a stretch. On the A and the E, it's not so difficult. So on the D string, make sure you've got your elbow underneath. Good. The next bit, that happens again, and then the next bit is bar 19. could do another little exercise. You could do a little trilling exercise. So you could do... just to make sure you've got that movement really good in that left hand. So all of these exercises, they'll make your hand tired, so just make sure you don't do them until they hurt, just a tiny bit. I hope that helps.